This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of December 7th, 2022. I'm Alex Brown. The Greater Lafayette region has announced 7 quality of life and economic development projects that will receive a total of $30 million in state funding. Among them is a $5 million collaboration between Purdue University and Ivy Tech Community College to boost the state's semiconductor talent pipeline. Purdue President-elect Mung Chiang.
This chip shortage is the foundation of our economic security and national security and job security. We want to make sure that we will, as a university, help with that talent pipeline, including for semiconductors.
You can view the full list of projects at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Pennsylvania-based convenience store chain Wawa today announced plans to expand into 3 Midwestern states, including Indiana. The company has not yet identified specific locations, but a spokesperson says they are looking at several potential sites that will open sometime after 2025. Women's Fund of Central Indiana has named Tamara Winfrey Harris president, succeeding founding president Jennifer Pope Baker, who led the organization for 23 years. Winfrey Harris currently serves as vice president of People, Culture, and Brand for the Central Indiana Community Foundation. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Bigwigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing, plus you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
The Indianapolis Public Schools Board of Commissioners unanimously approved a resolution to begin the process of placing a $410 million referendum for capital projects on the May ballot. Here's Gary Dick.
The Tuesday vote came after lengthy pleas from charter school advocates to share more of the potential referendum funding with all charters within IPS boundaries. The capital referendum question, along with the referendum for new operating costs that the school board is due to consider next week, will help fund the district's massive reorganization, known as Rebuilding Stronger, a plan the district adopted last month to more efficiently run a district that has been losing students to charter schools. Both ballot questions, if placed on the ballot and passed, would generate over $800 million in new taxes. But dozens of charter school parents and students packed the boardroom before the vote and called on the board to share more of the money. IPS plans on sharing part of the potential referendum funding with charters within its innovation network. But IPS Superintendent Alicia Johnson has said the district will not share referendum funding with independent charters due to concerns about accountability and transparency. The capital referendum would fund facility improvements and new building additions outlined in Rebuilding Stronger, including improvements to 23 schools. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Biopharmaceutical manufacturing startup Incog Biopharma Services is marking a milestone at its new Fishers headquarters. The life sciences company just completed the installation of its first multi-use filling line, which means it could start filling vials and syringes for pharmaceutical customers by the end of the year. The Contract Development and Manufacturing Organization, which opened its $60 million facility earlier this year, is seeking Good Manufacturing Practices certification. Incog says the building has the capacity to scale and accommodate up to 3 filling lines as the market for injectable drug products continues to grow. Dealing with grief can be especially challenging during the holiday season. A unique study launched by a team at the IU Bloomington Luddy School of Informatics is examining how video games might help. The study was prompted by a senior thesis project that wanted to see how games are designed to engage users. Assistant Professor of Informatics, Dr. Christina Chung.
We actually look at this particular topic because this is a very kind of a niche topic that we don't see a lot of kind of interactive technology in these fields.
The team is looking at one video game in particular called Gris, which means gray in Spanish. Players interact with the storyline of a young woman whose world begins in black and white, and as the player completes each level of grief with her, a coinciding color is brought back to her world. Chung says this gaming technology is not meant to replace therapies or getting help from professionals, but it could complement those things. Children's Museum of Indianapolis CEO Jennifer Pace Robinson is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio.